this down, this is sort of the level I was looking at, and I want to break this down candle by candle. So I want the footprint charts to be with us over here. So from a footprint chart perspective, this is what we're seeing, right? What we're seeing over here is we see market open. This here, 9:36, was of course the first 15 minutes of market open. So the way that I look at order flow is I'm not looking at every number. I'm certainly not looking at every candle. I just want to see the delta in and around my key levels, mainly in my key levels. So what we can see here, 9:36, a huge blue delta pops up in the market just over here. Now, when we dive into that carefully, we see 482 for 913. Again, large positive delta, but the market found some kind of resistance as we broke below the zone here. So between 936 and 940, what we want to understand is that there is obviously some kind of passive seller over here, right? There is obviously a passive seller sitting over here. So for those who don't know what a passive seller is, a passive seller is responsible for absorbing the buy orders, right? So here there was a lot of buy orders, 935, 936, 937. There were a lot of buy orders resting here, but the market wasn't able to really sustain higher prices, right? We broke below. So seeing this basic framework, you should be able to understand that buyers are aggressive, but the market actually falls lower. This here indicates that sellers are really in control. Sellers are passive. Now, when you look at this from a candlestick chart again, we're going to be breaking down this sort of B plus setup. So seeing a little bit of chop over here, not my favorite kind of price action at all, but this is what we're seeing. So if this is our break line, we're looking for some kind of a break, market structure shift, or break below our level. We're seeing multiple rejections, right? We see a rejection here, we see a rejection here, and we also see a rejection here, right? And then, of course, we begin to break. Now, I want to explain why this is a B plus setup. And the way we explain that is by understanding this chart here. So if we just take a look at why this was an A plus setup, the reason it's a setup, right? The reason it's somewhat of a setup is because we see the absorption of buyers, right? We see the absorption of aggressive buyers. So throughout this entire candlestick region here, throughout this whole sort of region, if I bring this a little bit carefully here, what we're seeing is here we have a rejection here. So at 9:54 we see this rejection, and this rejection corresponds to a lot of buying activity over here. So we see a red candle, so we see price breaking below our zone, lower prices, but in